In order to illustrate the expectations of a young ensign or second lieutenant, I'd like to share with you some important statistics and facts about our areas our armed forces are currently engaged in. These are issues we need to understand as commissioned officers, in my own opinion, in order to be effective leaders for the United States military and leaders for the 21st century. Afghanistan will continue to be at the forefront of international news, not only because of the troop increase recently announced by our Commander-in-Chief, not only because of the disturbing increase in violence that we've seen, but also because of the demographics of the area. Out of the 28 million plus people who live in Afghanistan, which is a rough estimate since there has been no official census since 1976, over 44% of the population is under the age of 14. Of these 44%, half are not currently enrolled in school. The overwhelming portion of these young children are young women, denied the opportunity to attend school. Also, analysts predict that Afghanistan will continue to have one of the top 5 birth rates in the world, as it currently holds the fourth highest birth rate in the world. I assure you, this young generation of Afghans will determine the future of their country. And I think it's going to take me some time to realize it as well, but we will be helping them. They determine the future of their country, and we owe it to them to help make it happen. In Africa, where the Department of Defense has established a new Africa Command, there are over 770 million inhabitants. In the next 40 years, it's estimated there will be 2 billion people on the continent of Africa. And of these 2 billion people, over 800 million will be under the age of 14. Out of all 53 countries in Africa, only 6 are expected to achieve the 7% economic growth rate yearly that is necessary to sustain this population and development. The result is that non-state actors who are committed to undermining America's interests at home as well as abroad will seek sanctuary in the population influx and recruit young, uneducated, impressionable, and impoverished children to join their organizations. Now, I understand that since I openly admitted struggling in my math class mid-year, I may not have credibility when I read off these numbers. But I want all cadets in Michigan to understand that this is the world we live in, and it's changing at an unbelievable rate right before our very eyes. And that new problems as well as opportunities that will arise, we cannot even conceive yet. Think about how much has changed in the first decade of this century. We went from being a nation, almost isolationist you could say, to being attacked by an organization not defined by country, but rather by ideology. We've engaged in wars in 2 different theaters. We shifted from a Eurocentric political strategy, now focusing on the Middle and the Far East. Think about what the next decade, just a few days from now, will bring. Your service academy is preparing you to be an innovative, educated, and decisive leader, flexible enough to meet these challenges, but strong enough to win our nation's wars, no matter what the circumstance. Even though I do believe at heart that these different changes in demographics and the rise of mass communications will define the circumstances of the rest of the 21st century, it will not define us. We are defined, I truly believe, by the will to win. Let us recall the words of General Douglas MacArthur on his views about our role as commissioned officers in his farewell address to West Point in May 1962. There may be some of you gentlemen who may remember the speech who were there. His words are as amazingly applicable today as they were then, and dare I say, even prophetic. Let civilian voices argue the merits of our processes of government, whether our strength is being sapped by deficit financing indulged in too long, by federal paternalism grown too mighty, by power groups grown too arrogant, by politics grown too corrupt, by crime grown too rampant, by morals grown too low, by taxes grown too high, by extremists grown too violent. Whether our personal liberties are as firm and complete as they should be, these great national problems are not for your professional participation or military solution. Your guidepost stands out like a tenfold beacon in the night. Duty, honor, country. Before I close this evening, I'd like to thank the families of the cadets and midshipmen in attendance. Your love for your son or daughter is helping develop a benevolent and competent leader for our armed forces. I know because I've been blessed with parents who have served in the Army as well, and I know how much that love can drive you to succeed and serve the nation. Also, although he's not present with us tonight, I again wish to recognize Captain Paul Bublius for allowing me to speak to you this evening. To the cadets and midshipmen of the class of 2013, thank you for volunteering to serve your country. You have just finished a difficult first semester, and I know that you are all ready to tackle the next 7 with the utmost confidence as I once did. To the class of 2012, I envy you all. As this coming summer, you will have access to unique research opportunities and military training that brings back fond memories of my recent cadet days. To the class of 2011, congratulations on your affirmation ceremony earlier this year. You have elected once again to serve your country, despite what's being said in the news and what pressure you might have felt from your peers here at home. And please don't be that cadet or Richmond that decides to travel Las Vegas with your Cal loan. $30,000 disappears real quickly. We learned the hard way. To the class of 2010, I'll see you in several months. You're almost there. Hang on, I know what it feels like. You're almost there, guys. And you should all be excited to be that lieutenant whose soldiers will explain, in the words of Captain Paul Publius, "My lieutenant can kick your lieutenant's ass." May God bless all of you, and may He continue to bless our American Republic. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lieutenant. But I really want to say it's vote for Steve! We truly appreciate your honorable service and the fact that you stood up and did what a leader is supposed to do. You came in there and did exactly what Captain Bublius asked you to do, to take over. Captain Bublius, when he spoke with me yesterday, told me that Stephen is a great orator and that he would do extremely well this evening. So again, we thank you very much, Stephen, for taking your Christmas evening and for preparing this presentation for us. Thank you very much. And now Mrs. Jeannie Davis, who is the president of the West Point Parents Club, would like to say a few words.
I'd like to take a few moments to thank Stephen for such a wonderful speech and for accepting this assignment very last minute, as his mom so well put. And it's obviously that West Point has taught you many things, and I think up on that list is what we call improvise and adapt, and that's exactly what you did. All-nighters. So on behalf of the West Point Parents Club, we'd like to give you this small token for our appreciation. Thank you very much.